Hello and welcome to My Cat is an Asshole podcast.
He loves that hair tie.
He just
loves it.
He's going to town behind us. But
Cats
this is actually
are the
the Master of Unlocking podcast. I would say dogs are the worst, but we're two different human beings. Dog bit my child today, so there's that. So I just really hate dogs.
Way to start the podcast on a bummer.
I know. Jason hates cats. I hate dogs. This is how we opposites attract. And it ain't fiction, just a natural fact. Whatever happened to that cat from the video?
Oh, it died.
Oh God, man! Now we're gonna have to restart this podcast. Holy cow, man! I didn't know that Paul Abdul's cat from the Opposites Attract video died.
It was like 1974.
That was the 80s.
Of course the cat's dead.
Well, and he smoked a lot of cigarettes too, if I remember right. In that
Joe
video.
Camel guy.
He was. Him and Joe Camel were real good buddies. Yeah, we'll get into that later because we're going to need to talk
You're a
about
Winston
Paul
man,
Abdul.
aren't you, Caleb?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Winston, Paul Mall.
If I was anything, I'd be a Winston man because there's that iconic picture of Michael Jordan with the Winston
That's
logo in the
honestly
background. But that's it.
What made me think of it.
Yeah.
All those Winston signs.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, what a
weird.
different era.
Yeah, that's what I
Wow.
mean. Remember when you'd flip through Game Pro and it'd have a Joe Camel just hanging out there?
Yeah.
Not Game Pro, but
It's cool to smoke.
Yeah. Mine were always Virginia Slims. What magazine was I reading?
He's looking through the Kohl's underwear catalog.
Oh God.
This has really gone in a really odd place where
It
I
really
think
has.
maybe we should start over.
I think we're
No?
good.
Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
think we're good. All
All
right.
right.
Welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. We just watched the Sony, whatever the hell that is. It's not a press conference.
PS5 reveal event.
The PS5 reveal event. So yes, let's do we want to get just like should we just hit the console right away?
Yeah, I think that's the best place to start.
And then we'll go in order of the games. So they showed a discless, I'm enunciating discless version.
Bulging discless.
Yes. Version and a disked version. Disked version. There is going to be
careful on that one.
there's going to be a lot of problems with people doing this. It's white. It's got some edges to it.
It's got a popped collar.
Very good. Yes.
That
was the
good.
first thing to
Yeah.
hit me. I was just like, it looks like its collar is popped.
Yep, it's pretty good. It's got a new haircut.
Yeah.
Its collar's popped.
It's ready to go out on a Saturday night,
Yeah.
hit the bars.
Yep.
it's textured.
I wonder if it
If
smells.
Xbox looks at him awkwardly, he's going to start a fight.
Do you think it smells like Axe?
Did you spray the sacks? Yeah, like a can and a half.
Oh man.
I don't like the white. I don't like white electronics. Never have.
Sure.
That's personal preference. The rest of the console, I think it looks a little over-engineered to me, but I don't know. Again, personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking over there at my sandwich of a PlayStation 4 that's just literally all black with a, little orange light on it, telling me that it's in power save mode. But man, that they went from massively subtle to just look at my spaceship.
Yeah,
And can you even lay that thing on its side?
you can. There are pictures
Okay.
of it on its side. Yeah, it looks even weirder on its side. Somehow.
Yeah,
it looks like the white part is eating the black part. It's really
so
weird.
Xbox and PlayStation literally both made consoles that you're going to want to stand upright.
This one it looks like you could do either, and I'm pretty sure the Xbox
designed
one,
to.
Yeah,
Designed
they,
to, I
yeah.
guess is what
The
I'm
first
saying.
reveal they put them vertical for it. So yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking at your consoles, and it's definitely the most uniquely shaped thing.
Yeah, we're looking. I have a museum of consoles too.
If you would have in the early 2000s, if you would have been like, hey, look at the pictures of an Xbox and a PlayStation from the year 2020, I would have been like, the Xbox One doesn't look like it belongs in 2020, but the PlayStation does.
was this accidentally from? Remember that commercial where they were talking about the PlayStation 8? Was this actually in that commercial?
It would fit.
It would, I guess.
Over-engineered is a really good word.
Yeah, I think you're right there. They were going for Tesla modeling. It reminds me of every robot in if you look at Astrobot. It's got that white and blue styling to it. Look at Robo Recall that weird game that, it's like all the robots had that white and blue looking thing. None of them had their collar popped out.
You guys going disc or disc-less?
Always disc.
Yeah, always disc. Unless there's like a huge price disparity, which I doubt there would be. I can see it being like $50 or something.
That's what I'm thinking, $50 to $50.
If it's like $100 off,
I think it's 100.
Really, you think?
Yeah, I bet they're going. I bet they're going Core Pro.
I would consider it if it was $100 difference.
What did they call how did they tier PS3? Was it literally just?
But it was also gigabyte. It was a 20 and a 60.
That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. Was it literally the 20 gig model versus the
Yeah, it was a 30 and a 60.
Oh, is it 30? I thought it was 20 and 60.
I'm pretty sure it was 30 and 60.
It was 20 and 60.
I think it's
really
20 and
okay.
60.
And then, but I remember the next set was definitely 40 and 80. Mm-hmm. But I don't remember the first one.
But I also think the 20 wasn't back compat, right?
It was not.
And so the 60 gig
$400 and $600 were the price points.
Right. And my dumbass was like, here, I'll buy the $600 one because I think I played God of War 2 and Final Fantasy 12 on a PS3.
And to be clear, that's not the situation we're in with the PlayStation 5, right? From what you were saying.
So from what I understand, the backwards compatibility is that it will play PS4 games, but nothing before that. So
it will play PlayStation 4
as far as I understand.
Okay.
They have not been super clear about that.
No,
okay.
and I think there's even been like, but not all PS4 games.
Right.
I think they've said that all first party.
I don't know,
but
I don't think they've listed anything yet.
Yeah,
so.
they were very vague about what that was going to look like.
This is a really interesting shift because this is the first time I can remember that we've had this half step. So how many masters are we serving here? How many consumers are we serving? You're a good example. You still have the OG systems, right?
For what?
The launch PS4 and launch Xbox.
Well, I have the Xbox S. Sure. Yeah, it's not an X.
Right. It does have HDR. So I guess it's somewhat half of a half step. God, see. So we've got old hardware now at this point that may have to still run games that are launching for the PlayStation 5 and Series X. It's weird. This is weird. And I've always had a hard time with serving both of those masters, like the watchdog problem of the previous generation where they showed that video and then it launches and you're like, oh God, this has to run on a 360 or Lord of the Rings,
Destiny,
stuff like that.
What was that Assassin's Creed game? Wasn't there an Assassin's Creed 4? Wasn't that the one that ran on both?
Wasn't Black Flag ran on both?
Yeah, Black Flag ran on both.
I think it came to, I think you're thinking of
Rogue came out. So Rogue actually came out on 360 a year later. And Black Flag was on both.
It was, but it came out a year later
when Unity came out.
Unity, yes, Unity is the one I'm thinking of. Unity was the one that came out on both at the same time.
No. Unity was the one that only came out on that, and Rogue came out on the 360 because they split.
Oh, right. They didn't have one that went to both.
They didn't have one that went to both that year, but the first year they did it when it was Black Flag.
No, the Black Flag was later that it came to other systems.
Right. I know I played.
We'll research that.
Yeah. You're right though. You're totally right. It was Rogue was the last gen, and then Unity was the next gen.
Right.
And those came out at the same time, but they were on different gens. They didn't have one that came out both at the same time on both consoles.
We'll research this for later.
I guess where I'm going with that is this is probably I'm at this court of gestures here, this in the company of idiots, where we will buy these things just because that's what we do. But this is probably, unless I see something different, this is probably the least excited I've been to make a generational leap because of the technical leap.
Yeah.
And that fact.
You mean overall or just PlayStation specifically?
Overall.
Okay.
Overall. So I am who I am, and I will reserve these as soon as it's available, and I will buy it. But I'm just knowing that we're talking about not just one console back, but two.
Yeah.
Really? Because having invested, I don't play PC games like you do, Caleb. Logan and I are more traditional console gamers, and having invested in a One X and a PS4 Pro now, I can see the difference between like a standard version of those consoles and the newer one.
Yeah.
I have a 4K TV with HDR, and I have seen like I've personally like,
just watching when I came over to Logan's, it was when you were in your old place though, and I saw Horizon on your 4K TV for the first time. I was like, this is not even the game I played.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Yeah.
So knowing that we're talking about some games like Hitman we saw today. Sorry, I know we're going to get to the games, but that looks like, that's going to run on a base PS4.
I think pretty much everything we saw today, like maybe with the exception of the New Horizon, looks like, okay, yeah, it kind of looks like PS4 stuff.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I'm a little bit like lukewarm on this, but maybe there's still a thing. Maybe they're even like I would take, like we were talking about Rise today, I would take a technical thing.
Or like, what was the order? The order?
Yes.
Was,
the order wasn't a launch title.
Don't make me cape up for the order. I'll do it right here, right now.
The game looks incredible, but it's kind of bad.
Shut your filthy mouth.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was first released for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 and Wii U in October 2013.
The Wii U.
And
God.
In October of 2013, and a month later for PlayStation 4 and Xbox
Oh, it was only a month? Okay, I thought it was longer than that.
Yeah, 1 month.
We were both kind of right then. It wasn't the same time, but it was pretty close.
Okay. We're all over the place.
I know. All right. No price. No.
All right, everybody go.
No date.
Caleb, what's it cost?
$800. I don't know.
I'll pay it.
I mean, yeah. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go $500 for the disc and $450 for the no disc.
Logan.
600 disc, 550 no disc.
500, 600.
Okay.
500 disc, 600.
Well, let's all
yeah. There you go.
Now, okay, yeah.
Let's all hope that I win this one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oof.
Yeah,
right.
no kidding.
Yeah, because
well, the thing is, and there's a lot of speculation about the reason they didn't announce a price is because they're waiting for Microsoft.
Right.
So I think Microsoft is probably going to set the price for both of these consoles.
They could.
And if knowing them and the position they're in, they might try to be a little aggressive with it. So I'm a little hopeful that...
sounds right. I think, they're pushing Game Pass. They think that's their bread and butter. And they're probably not wrong in that. Game Pass has been an incredible service. I thought we were going to see something about PlayStation Now today, a new version of that was going to replace PlayStation Plus. Well,
there's always been some uncertainty around Sony's ability to offer an infrastructure like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see if, like PS Now, like half streaming product, not a streaming product, compared to Game Pass where it's traditional apps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It'll be curious to see. They're on Microsoft server technology now.
Yeah.
So I thought that, like we would see a shift in that product.
Yeah.
We still could.
Yeah, you're right.
They might have wanted to just, because a lot of the feedback from the Microsoft event was like, you didn't show enough of the games. So maybe they were really just like, okay, let's just focus on the games.
So with that, let's just focus on the games. And let's get right into it with the first game they showed, which is Grand Theft Auto 5. Why not?
I was really surprised that they chose to open the show with this. But then right afterwards, they had the disclaimer that everything else would be like PS5 material. So
it makes sense after the fact. But when you first see that, you're like, really? This is what we're starting off with?
A game from 2013 we're starting with.
If I can put on my marketing pants for a second, I think that it's almost worth the pop alone to be able to start your show with a Rockstar logo.
Yeah.
Even if you disappoint.
There
was like
yeah, but at the same time it was like, there's a new Rockstar game, especially with all the rumors that there's a new Grand Theft Auto,
an agent and all this other stuff. They're like, yeah, they brought it back. No.
I almost see the excitement or the adrenaline rush from seeing a Rockstar logo as a positive, in my opinion.
Really, you don't get it like a negative from when it's Grand Theft Auto 5 after that.
I would raise the pros and cons of that and say I would pick the Rockstar logo over disappointing people because you can win them back in the hour and whatever.
Yeah.
What's next, Logan?
Spider-Man Miles Morales
DLC. Okay, carry on. What's next?
See, I'm not sure what that is.
They said it was PS5 stuff, and they said holiday 2020.
I kind of wonder. Do you remember Infamous First Light
Yeah.
I wonder if this will be like that, where it's like standalone, but also kind of shorter.
But there was a proper. How long was that Infamous game for PS4?
Well, there was
Second Son.
Second Son was the full game, and then Last Light was like a standalone DLC. That was it was probably like, I don't know, somewhere between 5 and 10 hours, and it was really good, but it wasn't like a full.
I mean, yeah, I guess if they gave me a 5 to 6 hour tech demo of what the next Spider-Man game looks like with Miles Morales, sure, whatever, I'll take it. Is it going to make me want to go out and buy a PS5? No.
Yeah.
Next thing was a Gran Turismo game, which we were trying to determine if there was a Gran Turismo game that came out on PS4.
There was a Gran Turismo Sport.
Yeah, but I don't think it came and went, right? Like it wasn't really.
I don't really know much about it. I don't know about anything about racing games really.
Gran Turismo game since the PS2.
There was GT6 was on the PS3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that the last numbered one? Was there a 7? Maybe there was a 7. There's the cat.
Oh, cat. See, continue being a dick. Just lay down over there. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good cat. Oof.
Woof.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on Spider-Man. And I think that Gran Turismo, I think you're right about 6. 6 was...
There might have been a 7.
Really?
I think there's a 7.
Okay.
To the internet.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
It doesn't matter because... none of us really.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was the next thing they showed.
Yeah,
was that launching?
They didn't say.
Okay.
I don't think there was an actual date on anything.
I think other than holiday 2020 on the Spider-Man thing, all I felt like I saw was years. Yeah, and most of them were 2021, which
makes sense.
Makes sense. Gran Turismo Sport was October 17th of 2017.
Okay,
was the most recent one, and it is officially Gran Turismo 7.
Okay,
for PlayStation 5.
Okay, so this one is 7.
Yeah. That Ratchet and Clank game looks fine. I think there was some cool mechanics that they did with the Rift thing.
Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, looks like a fun little game. Sure. And I mean, it actually, I felt like even for a Ratchet and Clank game, showed off a lot of graphical powerhouse stuff that you could do with that. So.
Yeah, they've always been really good at like, there are a bunch of little things all exploding at the same time, and you get everything is shiny, and it looks really cool.
Looks really nice. The next thing was a Square thing, just called Project Athea.
Coming 2030?
Or ever. I don't even really know what it was. It was just some woman crashing down from the heavens, like making weird things on mountaintops.
It kind of almost looked like that Unreal demo a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. That I can work with that. The next thing was Stray. It was that game with all the robots, but yet there was a little cat running around. Meow. And cat.
I want to know what that is. It could be anything.
It could be a lot of things. It was no gameplay, no real idea what it was. The robots all looked like they were just living a normal life. And
one was getting a haircut.
That was weird. Yeah, they were getting a haircut. I don't know. Anything, Jason? Nothing.
It looks cool. Yeah, I just don't know what it is.
Art style looks neat, but like, what is that? I don't know. Then we had Returnal, which is up there for worst name ever. The gameplay parts of that game look interesting.
This is a space game, right?
Right. The shots of the woman's face who had the monochromatic eyes. Good Lord, that was a PS2 face. Like, what were they doing?
I don't like it when people are hyperbolic like that. That was not a PS2 face.
Okay, PS3 face.
No, even that's a little rough. It was
pretty flat. And like, they didn't give her any hair. It was like, oh yeah, like it's the cop out that you do when you've got somebody in a helmet. Like, you just don't give them hair. Yeah,
the hair was like, I don't know. It was weird.
It was all flat.
There was
no texture to it. There was nothing. That's where I get that there's like no texture to the thing.
I just thought this game looked really super generic, and I don't know. I don't know about it. That one's not high on my list here.
No, not me either, but
I agree.
Next one was Sackboy: A Big Adventure.
I'll play this.
Little Big Planet type thing. We were talking it might not have level making.
Well, the thing is, they have dreams now, so
Right.
I don't know what making a Little Big Planet with creation tools seems a little redundant.
Dreams is moving to the PS5.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I've not messed around with Dreams at all. I have no idea what.
Yeah,
that
I don't
thing
either,
does. I've
but-
seen some random cool stuff in it, but then I've also seen where Nintendo comes in and throws copyright things on them because people made something too similar to Mario. So
Hey, they played the Go team in that trailer, so I mean they're good in my book.
all right, sounds good. Then the next thing was Destruction All Stars.
Speaking of terrible names,
We said this was a massive missed opportunity. It's a Twisted Metal type game where you're bashing cars against each other with different equipment. Sorry, my cat is driving me crazy. And yeah, it's so, oh my gosh, wow, flustered. Anyway, it's a kart. It was not really a kart racer. It looked very much like Rocket League, but with,
I feel like it's more Arena Twisted Metal.
yeah, Arena Twisted Metal is the right thing. Yeah.
but not dark, like Twisted.
No,
Metal.
sure.
Yeah, because they were
yeah.
cars. You didn't have a cool ice cream truck to drive around. That's for sure. But there were like razors and axes and stuff on people's cars.
Video game character draft. I take Sweet Tooth. Your move, Caleb.
Oh God, I was not prepared for this.
I wasn't
Sweet
either.
Tooth is amazing. I
Sweet
just
Tooth
I was
is,
starting
like-
to think that's one of the coolest video game characters.
Parappa. Oh, I panicked.
I mean, you could have done worse. You could have done way worse than Parappa. I mean, sure, yeah.
But at least these are
You could have said Littlefinger from Quantum Break or whatever his name was. Like, that could have been way worse.
This is like when Inside did the NBA draft and Charles took Allen Iverson first.
Yeah. What are you doing, man, Chuck? Ooh, boy.
Oh man. So
That game looks all right.
I think it looks like a game that it's a free. If you don't make that free to play and then just have it be all cosmetics, I don't know how many people are going to buy it. That's my concern about a game like that.
I bet you're dead on with it.
I mean, it's in the fact that how do you have a PlayStation, name something All Stars, and not do PlayStation All Stars Destruction, and have people, and you pick PlayStation characters to drive the cars?
What would the PlayStation All Stars be driving? Like, what would Nathan Drake would be driving? Like a Jeep with like a winch on it, right?
I don't even know if you have to have custom cars. Like it, even if they just did emotes or whatever from like inside the car of like, I don't even,
Oh, here we go again.
No.
So the tail wagon.
Oh my God. My cat has left me alone for like the last 3 months, and all of a sudden you guys come over and he's just wanting to be everybody's best friend again. What a dick. Yeah, I don't know what you would do with that, I guess, either, but they just created generic heroes, that's the new term for everything. It's, it's a hero. They do this. This person has lightning powers. I don't know what you do with that game.
Yep.
All right. Next thing was Kenna Bridge of Spirits. This one we all kind of agreed was pretty cool. That was the game with the girl. She had the stick.
Is she a Pikmin? Was it that one?
They were a
Yes.
little like, oh gosh,
Minions.
They were
the minions. Yeah, like
they were like the little things from Spirited Away. The
Oh
little-
yeah. Those little things. That game looked cool.
There was that nice moment where I think she defeats a boss and it revitalizes the area, takes it from like gray to like green and lush again.
And then all the little gray things hopped out like Dr. Robotnik's little things when you beat Robotnik at the end of a Sonic level, and they were like hopping all out.
In D&D, that's called consecrating.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's the opposite of desecrating.
Oh,
Just so you know.
okay.
And I learned a new term today.
Wow. Okay. Very good.
Neat.
This has been your tabletop moment. The first and ever and last tabletop mention in this podcast.
I'm going to get you guys to play D&D one of these days, and we're going to record it. That'll be fun.
Sounds good.
Okay. The next game is Caleb's 2020 Game of the Year number 10. That's Goodbye Volcano High.
I'm not sure what this game is, but the art style is super cool.
We compared it to like a Night in the Woods kind of thing.
It looks like some kind of like 80s children's cartoon, but also like a little spunky. I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to.
They had like a band in high school that appeared, and then they were all obviously leaving high school because we're saying goodbye to Volcano High.
We'll see what it is. We have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
So
who knows what it is. Then the next thing was Oddworld Soulstorm. They prefaced this with hey, we're looking forward to getting back to this world where it's funny when things happen, and then the trailer happened and it was very serious.
Very dark.
Yeah, for Oddworld. I mean, Oddworld's not exactly a happy place.
No, but it was always like, I don't know. It seemed like a little like...
quirky.
Yeah, quirky, or like he would die in a stupid way and it'd be kind of funny. But this just seemed like, oh, a Slobblight just chopped him in half. Ooh.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. The next game was Ghostwire Tokyo.
A game that I think a lot of people have been very excited to hear about for a long time.
Looked a little different than I think what I thought.
Certainly than I anticipated.
Right.
I don't know what I thought. I thought maybe a little more of a realistic look. Maybe with some neo-noir, not quite cyberpunk, but I was expecting... Yeah. And not that it doesn't have color, but I think I was picturing like, forgive me, a Ruiner almost from that game. If you guys remember Ruiner, the game.
I was
something else. I don't know what I had in my head, but it wasn't this first person thing that we saw today. And I thought it looked a little bit plain. Honestly, I was a little bit disappointed in what I saw.
I was expecting a lot more, like detail of like more, but like like paved streets, but with neon lights, like everything kind of black and white at the bottom and very colorful at the top. I don't know. I guess I had this game in my head that was not it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem when they revealed the thing was everybody immediately got a picture in their head of what they were hoping it was going to be.
Sure. And
I don't know if this met what anybody thought.
I didn't expect the psyche level to be what it was either. I mean, it looks very psychotropic, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
But
relentlessly so.
Right. Yeah. Like it was.
There's a lot of that in there.
I'm a big fan of like the aesthetic of like the Japanese horror type stuff, like the curse symbols and stuff that they put on, and like the big white mask, like stuff like that. I'm really into. I don't know if I'm super into what they showed of the gameplay. It looked I don't know yet. The jury's still out on this one.
Yeah. I mean, I think I even said last year at E3, I was like, oh, that's like my game of the show. I'm really looking forward to this. And now I'm not thinking that's going to be that great.
What's next?
Next is Jet, The Far Shore.
Pass.
Next.
Which one was this?
This was the one with the rocket, and they left, and then they kept flying around.
Oh, right. Okay.
And we really didn't know what they were doing. After that was Godfall, the Gearbox game that missed the tone.
It's this is going to be
the hip hop.
I'm going to set the under/over for this on Metacritic at a 60.
I was going to go 45.
So you're under.
I think the reason why I say that is I think there's a good amount of critic vitriol toward Gearbox right now. So I think they're going to just beat the living hell out of it.
That game kind of looks like Too Human to me. Which is not a good thing to say.
That is not a compliment.
It does. It just the way it moved around, it reminded me of Too Human.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. There was nothing that even remotely looked like this was a next gen game.
I was going to say this is like a like not in the way it looked like graphically, but in the way it played, it looked very last gen. Even.
Yeah,
like a 360.
It probably has more current gen look,
right?
But yeah, the gameplay itself was definitely more like a 360 game. After that was Solar Ash. I don't remember what Solar Ash was. I think it was a very quick thing.
I don't either. So
was that the game that I said looked like a mix of Journey and the other game, Hyper Light Drifter?
Oh, I think you're right.
It was like a 30-second thing, and we were like, "Oh, well, was fast." I think that was what.
Let's move on because none of us remember.
Then Hitman 3.
I'll play that.
Yeah, we got a decently solid look at that. I mean, their cinematics always look great for the most part, so that looked pretty good. We didn't really see any gameplay. That said January, right? Yeah.
That was the only thing that I remember from the show that had like any kind of
date to it. I remember that. I just couldn't remember what exact date it was. Do we think this goes both cross-gen? I mean, this is a PS4, PS5 thing.
Probably.
Absolutely.
I agree. It seems like we're not at a point yet where third parties are going to be like, yeah, I'm going to put all my eggs in the basket of the next gen. So.
Not with the install base of the PS4.
No, not even close. So yeah, I agree with you there. They did say it was the end of the trilogy, so there's that. So
I like how often Hitman gets rebooted.
It doesn't matter. And really, I mean, it could be a different agent every time. He's just a barcode. So
that's all you think of him? That's all you think of him? He's just a barcode?
He's just a barcode.
What a jerk.
I know. How could he do Tim Oliphant like that?
I didn't say Tim Oliphant. I just said Agent 47.
Okay.
What's next? Oh, Astro's Playroom. So that was the Astrobot thing. That we weren't sure.
Sequel? What would we call that?
But we weren't sure if it was really VR.
True. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't mention anything VR related at all. So no. I don't know where VR fits into the picture of the PS5 yet.
That game was good enough to live. I mean, yeah, there were definitely some quirks with VR that you had to do with that, but I think they could make a game out of that you don't need VR. Yeah. I mean, like Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah,
they made that a game without VR.
Yeah, that game sucked, but
right. But it's a thing you could do. Yeah, like you could do a game like that.
Hopefully, this is better than that.
I liked Astrobot a lot. It was good. Little Devil Inside.
Game of the show for Logan.
Game of the show, I think, is the. I mean, he threw that bomb down in the frog's throat, and then the old man pooped, and that
pretty
was
good.
That was.
So is this literally meaning that he's inside? Like, is he inside the old man?
I think so.
There's earlier on in the trailer, doesn't he walk into the room with him? Isn't that the first thing? The old man's to the right and then the adventurer's to the left.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, who knows? That could be anything.
Does he somehow ingest?
Maybe. Yes, maybe.
Is it like? Maybe. Well, I even wondered too if it was him as a younger child or something, and he's remembering these things as he's just living about his daily life, pushing the rubber ducky in the bathtub.
It looks good, man. I think that looks really cool. I think the aesthetic is awesome. Yeah. Looks all right as far as gameplay goes. I think it looks pretty good.
Pretty good. Next thing was the NBA 2K21.
Zion dunked.
I did.
That was pretty cool.
And the ball going into the net looked interesting, to be honest.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Some real physics between the ball and the actual individual net.
Netting is always hard, it seems like, to do. Mm-hmm. It's been hard.
This is the first time that if this is an actual animation of him dunking from the game, this is the first time that it looks to me like one fluid animation instead of a bunch of animations strung together. There was no like hitch that like led from, him taking the ball from his arm up. There was nothing in between there. It was all one fluid thing. Mm. And in every other NBA 2K game, there's always like a slight hitch, where he's transitioning the ball or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Here's a random question. Do you think they needed to do new mocap for this? And if they did, when did they do it? Because, I mean, when did they get people together with COVID?
Who knows?
I mean, just...
I don't think that the mocap is done by athletes, mostly. Like...
Really?
When they... I think it was, 2 years ago, they did a big deal about Ken Bazemore did everybody.
Oh, yeah.
He mimicked all of the players' movements.
I do remember that.
So I think they have... They probably have, athletes on staff, to be honest, or people they bring in.
That guy on YouTube
that's what I was just invitations on YouTube that does the invitations.
Sure.
That guy would be great.
Which is kind of exciting because we were talking about this. I think that I always enjoy looking at a new sports game, and it's kind of a line of demarcation for me, generation to generation. And so there's not a whole lot of room for fidelity because it looks pretty damn good right now. but I think there's room for animation and physics. And so maybe if we get some horsepower thrown at that, we could maybe see like the Uncanny Valley, not from just visuals, but the way it moves, like you were talking about. That is exciting to me. We'll see what it looks like. But you're very right. Like even now, 2K is marred with those spoof videos that those kids do.
Yeah.
And it's so dead on because fast break, then like fade away, not layup. Things that happen that wouldn't happen in a normal course of a game.
Or the guy that goes to take a fadeaway and goes completely under the hoop and hits the back of the backboard, like stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Zion's a sweaty guy. They chose the right guy to show off the sweat tech.
Zion might be the sweatiest guy to play in the NBA since Shaq.
You might be right. I think it is just a size. It is a size thing.
He's always got beads of sweat just completely dripping off of him.
Covered in sweat. Oh gosh, what was after that? The next thing was Bug Snacks. This was that game from the Octodad guy.
He had weenie arms.
He did have weenie arms. And then when he ate the strawberry, his hand turned into a strawberry. Mm-hmm. But then when he ate the cheeseburger, his other hand turned into a curly fry.
I think it was a spring.
I thought it was a curly fry.
To me, it looked like the hamburger was like had a spring look to it, and then his hand turned into the spring. I think that's what they were going for, but I'm not.
I'm not sure either. Either way, that game looks weird, and weird in a good way. I think we'll see what I don't know what the gameplay is of that, but sure.
If it's anything like Octodad, then it's gonna be crazy in a really weird but also really interesting way.
Okay, well, that's good. After this was Caleb's game of the show, maybe the Demon Souls.
Yeah,
thing.
I'll replay Demon Souls. That looks awesome.
There was a lot going on there.
Yeah, so. I'm curious how because there's a lot of really dated stuff in that game, in the original game. Like there was this whole like world balance thing that depended on how many people were playing online at the time, and it was super weird. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if they take that over or if they just kind of get rid of those mechanics or what. Because
Dark Souls, correct me if I'm wrong, Dark Souls easier than Demon Souls? Like Demon Souls is considered like the hardest game?
No, I don't think so. Right. Well, I did play it after I had played all of the other Souls games, so I'm not sure. But
okay, I just remember it always like it was like, oh, you want a brutal game to play Demon Souls?
Yeah,
okay,
it is brutal.
All right, maybe it was just of the time or something. Next game was Deathloop. This was the game from the Arcane Studios guys.
It has quite a bit of Dishonored in it, which is cool, but also kind of some gun stuff that you don't necessarily get in Dishonored.
Yeah. We were saying, it plays very much like an old Grindhouse / Tarantino spoof. Or it doesn't plays like, but the style they're going for.
I really like the presentation of that game, but we'll see. Because I think I really like the look of Dishonored too, and then when I played it, I just didn't like the way that it felt. So
I like the premise of it too, where it's there's 8 people that you have to kill in one run, and if you don't do it, then you just start the run over again. So I'm hoping it's like you get a bunch of upgrades in between, and then like you can do stuff faster.
And you're essentially competing with somebody, right?
Yeah,
like
there's another person there.
Yeah, I like the premise too. I'm willing to give it a shot, I guess. It's just, I don't know. It seems like more of a movie I'd like to watch. And then we catch the good stuff. Resident Evil 8-age.
Village Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, I was trying to think. It's because it's VII.
Wait, I don't think they put an 8 on it. I think it was just Village Resident Evil.
No, it's Resident Evil. It was Village, but then they did Resident Evil, and then the VII.
They were just highlighted though.
It was highlighted as 8. Well, but if you look over at Resident Evil 7 over there, they just did
true.
VII with, and then left the white part of the L.
Yeah, that's true.
And then when they did Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, so it's still, I guess it's Resident Evil Village /8, whatever you want to call it. Either way, that game looks real nice.
Yeah.
It has a 2021 date,
And they're pretty good about getting stuff out.
They are, and that's typically been a early year release window.
Right.
That'd be great if we had that. I mean, that's.
I don't remember. Was 7 number 2 for us?
Of the
I think
top
it was.
Resident Evils of all time.
No, in our Game of the Year deliberations that year.
It was high.
I'm pretty sure it was 2 because I think it was Persona and then that.
Okay.
Was it? Was it? I can't remember what year that was.
Yeah.
I remember it was high.
I'm pretty sure it was 2, and
could've
then
it was 2 or
3
3.
was. Did we put it 3? I can't remember now.
Does 8 take place directly after 7? Are we chronological?
Yeah,
It is,
yeah.
right?
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Okay. And so he says Ethan, which is the main character from 7, and Chris addresses Ethan at the end of that trailer, right?
Yeah.
There's a snippet of the mansion in there, so I'm just like, I'm trying to understand where the hell we're going.
Well,
with
the thing is, like 7 didn't really have much to do with the series at all until the very, very last scene, right?
It reveals itself.
Yeah.
right?
So I'm wondering if this will kind of connect the stuff that happened in 7 back to the Resident Evil lore we know.
And then where are we at in the timeline is where
I think we're at the end. I think we're after everything now. But I don't know for sure.
Yeah, we're post all the craziness.
I think so.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to. That's what I'm trying to understand. And then why would the mansion still be standing then?
It was rebuilt. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah,
Or maybe it's
sure.
a different mansion. I don't know.
Yeah, one that is similar that harkens back to that look and feel, but it's a different spot.
It's a lighthouse.
A man,
I mean,
a lighthouse.
I don't know. After that, we had that really weird game Pragmata, where there was like a guy in a spacesuit and the girl and a cat again.
And I think we all looked at that and were like, there's a high possibility this game gets canceled.
Right.
Yep.
Like, yeah, maybe.
Watch your phones. It could be canceled any moment.
Might be
any
canceled
moment.
right now. And then after that, we had Horizon
West, something West, Wild West.
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. I was trying to look up our game of the year from.
Oh, it was, I think 3 was Cuphead, actually. Now I think about it.
Sure.
I don't.
I
think
probably
it was
would
that
have
high, was
pushed
it?
pretty hard for Cuphead.
I'm trying to find our game from that year and I can't find it. It's terrible. Anyway, Horizon looks good. That game, I will say, is one of the Resident Evil, Ratchet and Clank might be the only games that really look like they were truly next gen games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Also, it that's a little bit tough too because obviously we're watching on a stream like everybody else, so it's hard to know a little bit of like maybe once these games are actually in a system coming out at native 4K and have HDR, maybe they will look way better than a YouTube stream.
Yeah, I don't think I saw anything as far as those go that I don't think a Pro or a One X could handle.
Right.
In my opinion. But I also don't think that the leap here, fidelity-wise, is going to be that big.
Right.
Probably the most narrow ever.
It's always going to be. It always has been. There's never been like every generation the gap gets a little narrower and narrower.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So that was it for games. Anything else you guys want to talk about with PS5?
I'm going to pre-order one as soon as it's available.
As soon as I get that email alert.
Like, I don't know if I'm buying an Xbox or not. I don't really have a reason to buy an Xbox, but the PlayStation, from just the stuff that they showed today, I can already tell there's 4 or 5 things I'm going to want to play like pretty soon after launch.
I think it's going to depend for me on what are the launch games.
Yeah.
And then what Xbox decides to do. Xbox has already said Halo is going to be a launch game, so I will be buying an Xbox. I did not buy a PS4 right off. I think when did I buy a PS4? I bought a PS4 Pro when Horizon came out. So I never had. I never had a base level PS4. Okay. I think I borrowed yours to play Until Dawn, and that was the only thing I played on it. Don't look at me like that. I did not have a base level PS4.
You're not even. I don't think you're qualified to be on this podcast.
Why? I bought an OG PlayStation 3 for $600. I think I belong. I got burned so bad by that $600 PS3 that I waited on the PS4. And I've been happy with my giant sandwich over there. It takes off for flight when I play God of War, and it handled Final Fantasy VII okay.
Yeah.
It did not sound like it was going to, exit the atmosphere at any point in time.
I should turn off my air purifier to see if I hear because it might just be drowning out the sound of the fans.
Probably, yeah, because you got a fan blocking out a fan.
Yeah.
The Pro is definitely louder than the original one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it works over the original one, like God of War especially, but the Pro is definitely louder.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I will end up owning both, that's for sure. It's
I eventually will get an Xbox too, just to complete my console collection, but I don't see a reason to when I have my PC right there that's going to play everything.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to upgrade your TV?
Yeah.
Is this time?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of the motivator for that?
Yeah.
I figured, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you might as well start looking for good deals now. And see
it's a good time to do it. I mean, their 4K HDR is
plus I got that check from the government. It's just burning a hole in my pocket.
Government money, baby. Gotta spend it.
It's got that internet government money. I mean, until they come out and say Horizon is a launch game and Spider-Man is going to be 10 hours long, I don't have a huge reason to go out and be like, "Yep, PS5." They didn't tell me anything today because they didn't even tell me if Horizon's a launch game.
Yeah.
And if
I don't think it is
very much that it is. Yeah.
If they come out with 0 first-party launch titles, it's going to be pretty sad.
Let's just wait on that one because I don't want to speculate.
I don't either, but this was with your first go around, I guess. I mean, they haven't shown off the console yet either. But maybe they shouldn't have shown off the console. I'm not saying Xbox is this beautiful thing by any means. Right. It's literally a refrigerator. But yeah, I don't know.
Here goes.
I mean, Microsoft may come back and be like, "Yeah, we ain't got shit about Halo either," and you can play it on Xbox One X, and it looks just fine too. So that's going to tell me I don't need to buy an Xbox either. I worry that there's going to be 0 motivation for many people to buy this next generation of console.
Historically, there's not much anyway.
Right.
In a normal environment.
Yeah.
And who knows with all the delays that everything's been seeing, if they can even get launch stuff out that they were planning on.
Right.
I played all the way back PlayStation 2 launches. Madden for half a year. That was the only thing. That was the only thing on it.
The PS4, I played Contrast, which was not a very good game.
What was Contrast?
It was like a third-person kind of platformer that was black and white.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that.
But it was the only exclusive besides Killzone, I think.
Killzone Liberation, is that what that was? Gosh, I mean, when the Xbox One came out, I played Max: The Curse of Brotherhood. That was
a launch game?
It was launch window, so at least within the first few months.
I'm trying to think what I played on that first. I don't remember what I played on that first.
I played Dead Rising, Killer Instinct.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was Dead Rising and Zoo Tycoon. I played a bunch of Zoo Tycoon.
Zoo Tycoon. That's right.
Killer Instinct did it for me, but I'm a fighting game guy here.
Yeah. I think because I bought Dead Rising 3 and NBA 2K. Were the 2 games I bought that on launch day, and then downloaded Killer Instinct. So at least I had 3 games still at launch. There
was something else too, because I remember Toys R Us was still open, and me, you, and another guy from work went there, and they had a buy 2 get 1 free on launch day.
Yeah, that's right.
I know I did that. I don't remember what the third game. Did I buy Rise? Maybe
we did it all together. We all went together and did it, and we bought. So I think we ended up buying 2 copies of Dead Rising.
Oh, okay.
And so we split a bunch of stuff, and then it was just it was oh yeah, here's $20 or whatever, and we did it. I do remember doing that. Okay. Now. It was you and I Jason, I don't remember if you were there or not for it.
I don't think so.
Really? Okay. I thought it was me, you, and Liam, but I can't.
Because I think we did it that way because it was well, there's not 3 games that I actually want.
Yeah,
So
maybe that's what we did.
I think, yeah, you were like, well, I want Zoo Tycoon. And I was like, okay.
Zoo Tycoon is cool, dude.
I just didn't tickle my fancy, I guess. I'm not a maintenance game guy. So, all right. Should we call it there? We'll do this, I guess, the next time they do something, because obviously they have to do something else. And Microsoft's got theirs to do.
There's stuff throughout the whole summer by a bunch of different places, but it's hard to know, like you were saying, Jason, it's hard to know what's important and what's not.
Right.
So we'll reconvene after something important comes up, I guess.
Right. I guess, yeah. Like if the big ones do something, Nintendo does something and Microsoft does something, and
the Microsoft event is July, right?
They've indicated that they will probably do a July thing, but have not given a date. It's just interesting that, yeah, Sony got out this far ahead. But I mean, at the same time, they also haven't shown us anything that Microsoft hasn't yet either. They showed more games, though.
Yeah.
They showed a lot more games.
Their game lineup was way more impressive than Microsoft's.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But I guess from hey, this is the console, this is the controller, this is the specs. Now they're about even from that standpoint of at least that part of it. But yeah, Sony is far ahead in games now. All right. We'll get back at it later. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.